Three reasons why starting with Rolex may not be such a bad idea. Now, before I jump in, two caveats. One, this is if you have the money and you're willing to spend it and you are deciding if you like watches or if you don't like watches and you're getting into watches and you like Swiss brands, right? And two, this is not a go out and buy Rolex as your first watch. This is not this is how you should do it 100% of the time. This is, hey, if you have the money, you're considering it, this is an option. So we'll go ahead and start with the obvious. The obvious is value retention. I don't really care about that, but a lot of people do. So obviously, if you have the money, like I said, and you want to get into Swiss watches or watches in general, Rolex might not be such a bad idea because value retention, right? Here you go, you spend on this guy maybe $9,000. It'll come fairly quick, and you get to wear it, whether it's on the Jubilee or the Oyster. You get to wear it, have a good time, explore how it feels on the wrist. Do you like it? Sorry, smudges. Do you like it? Do you even like Swiss watches? Do you like watches in general? And then the main reason I'm saying this is, of course, if you decide to get out of watches, you don't want to really pursue the hobby anymore. You decide it's not for you. You don't lose your pants. You don't lose your socks. You don't lose, whatever the phrase is, right? You don't lose your ass on a watch. You can go back. You can get rid of it 2 years, 3 years later if you really don't care to own a watch anymore, right? You can go back and get pretty much what you paid for it, if not a little bit more, and you're done with watches. You can move that on. You didn't lose anything. Just had a little bit of fun with a Rolex. And I'm going to say the second reason is you get to experience Rolex early. A lot of people say, well, Rolex is the brand you get when, you don't really like watches. You just think you like watches or whatever it may be, right? You want a hype watch brand. You get to experience it early if you go ahead and buy one. You get to see, well, maybe Rolex is overpriced. Well, it's obviously a little bit overpriced, but maybe it's overhyped. Maybe people shouldn't want it that much. Maybe you don't like it that much. Maybe you find out, you don't like the history behind it. You don't like, whatever it may be. As you learn about the hobby of exploring watches and so on and so forth, you have experienced Rolex early, and from there you get to say, well, you know what? It's cool. I have one. I won't go for another one. I don't really want to wait for more. I'm happy with the one that I have, and well, let's move on. And you go Seiko, you go maybe another luxury brand. Who knows? You just get to see what it's all about, and then you can move on. And reason number three, I would say, is if you've never had a luxury experience, with any brand really, you get to have that, right? I'll make this a two-parter, right? You get to have the luxury experience, right? You get to go in, you get to be treated pretty well. Hopefully, your AD or your sales associate will treat you very well, and they will get you hopefully what you asked for. And also, you get to kind of see what Rolex is about. Like I said last time, right? Is you get the wearing experience of a luxury brand, right? You get to, like I wear it. I don't wear this. I hear people say this a lot, right? You want your Rolex to show off for other people. This is how I wear my Rolex every day. I don't care how people see me, I guess. I don't want people to see my Rolex. I don't want people to see my watch. It doesn't matter. You get to decide if you want to be that show-offy person, right? Flaunt your thing, whatever it may be, or you could be the incognito. Hey, what's going on with your day? Boom, there's the camera. check the time. Already done. Then if you're somewhere, somebody happens to see you check the time. This doesn't happen, by the way. Somebody happens to see you check the time. Like, hey, is that a Submariner on your wrist? That won't happen. I don't know why people say, oh my God, conversations about watches. People will do that. They're going to ask you. No one's asking you about your watch. Okay. That doesn't happen. Anyway, yeah. So that's just what I think. You get to have a luxury experience. You get to choose and decide if you want to flaunt what you have, put it on your wrist, show it off for everybody, or just enjoy it for yourself, see how it makes you feel. Maybe it'll give you that tiny boost of confidence in your everyday job. You know what you're wearing, so it peps you up a little bit, right? You spent some money, you're in a meeting. Maybe it'll give you some I don't know, some confidence to speak up and throw your opinion out there or something, right? I don't know, but I guess you also get to see how you'll react to scratches, because these things aren't cheap, man, and they will be scratched. If you don't believe me, maybe I'll do a video going over, a quick one, like 1 minute video showing all the scratches on this thing. It's got scratches, man. You'll learn a lot about yourself if you buy an expensive watch or an expensive item and it gets scratches on them like they're meant to. So that was a long one, kind of diluted, but let's get into the why you probably should not buy a Rolex. 3 reasons. We're going back to the Submariner for this one. One reason you should not buy a Rolex is if your patience, you do not have patience. If your patience is wearing thin, if you have zero patience, if you are not a patient person, if you don't want to wait for anything, if your experience in life is, I want that, I need it now, I have to have it yesterday, I would say do not go about buying a Rolex. Don't buy 1, don't buy 2, don't buy 3, don't buy 5. At least not at the AD, right? Some people will say go buy it at the gray market, but why would you do that, right? That's not me. Anyway, yeah, bad patience, don't want to wait, don't buy a Rolex, man. Don't get on the list, as they say, and because that's gonna be a long one, especially if you want this guy, at least for most people. Cool, on to the next one. Number 2, if you think you're gonna make friends buying a Rolex and wearing a Rolex, you probably shouldn't buy one. People don't come up to you, they don't ask you about your watch. I actually, speaking of which, I actually saw a Teddy Balazar video. He mentioned this. If you find yourself in those circles where people are asking you about your watch, I don't know what kind of circles those are. I don't roll in those, but those are some odd people, and maybe you should branch out in life. Not saying watch people are bad, but yeah, either they're very, very strange people, they're watchmakers, right? But they already know what you have, or you're probably around the actual wrong people and they're asking what's on your wrist because they want to take it. So I would say don't buy one if you want to flaunt. It's not a good idea, especially nowadays. You're hearing all these things about England. If you travel a lot, big cities, England, New York, probably LA, wherever, right? Big city, just don't do it. It's a bad idea. Flaunting what you have, especially, a little watch that's $15,000, it's easy to rob you for it. Horrible idea. Don't do that. If you're not ready to see all the people online everywhere else talking crap about your watch, sorry, your brand of watch, right? Saying Omega's better, whatever else is better, your watch sucks. You only like Rolex because whatever it may be, right? Status, whatever they say these days. If you have very, very thin skin, probably should not be buying a Rolex, because especially if you're the type to second guess what you buy, whether you like it or not, just because you see some things online, you watch a video and someone says, oh, Rolex is crap because XYZ, or you're not a true enthusiast if you only buy Rolex or have a Rolex. Rolex is not high horology, sure, it's not, but they've done some things that are pretty outstanding in the watch world, right? The perpetual movement, the first date wheel on actually the date just, right? It's the first date complication, as they say, right? Got some pretty dang good styles. The Jubilee, the boring Submariner, as they say. I don't think it's boring. I just think it's a good looking watch. But anyway, yeah, you got thin skin, don't buy one of these. If you have thin skin, it's a horrible idea. You'll just second guess it, and then you'll end up getting rid of it because you're worried about what people will think. So I guess to finish off your last one, right? And you also, if you get one of these, people will talk crap about it. So if you're not ready to hear people talk crap about how weird this watch looks, how they'd rather get an Explorer, and then you all of a sudden want to get rid of your Air King and get an Explorer, it's just stay away from it. Thin skin, not a good idea. And then I already mentioned it, but Teddy Baldessar's video, I just mentioned it a little bit ago. I'll put the name of the video right there. Go give that a watch. He's got some pretty good info in there that I think people should live by. If you're into watches, I think you should live by it, right? Consider some of the things that he's thinking or saying in that video. He's got some good points, man. Just give it a listen, give it a watch. And then maybe you can decide from there what kind of person you are as far as, you know, watches go, or the hobby and all that stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say. Again, don't flaunt. You don't need to flaunt your freaking watch. Like, people who do that are just asking for trouble in big cities, not everywhere. I live in a pretty dang safe spot, so and I don't always wear long sleeves, but I'm not really always out of my house. I'm kind of a cave dweller. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Stop rambling. I will catch you guys in the next one. And I guess real quick, let me know if you want to see all the scratches. I'll make like a 30-second video of each one and show all the scratches that I've amassed on these watches. You know, the Air King I've had for over a year. So kind of show the wear and tear that you'll get just wearing them normally in your day-to-day life with a long sleeve as well, by the way. Yes, you do scratch your watch if you have a long sleeve shirt on, believe it or not. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.